Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's build, we are building a home for what I imagined would be perfect for an interior decorator because this house ends up being very aesthetically pleasing, very clean. There's lots of different items that I use from the Dream Home Decorator kit, so I feel like it was only right to have an interior decorator living here. We end up having this large open floor plan single story home. I envisioned it being for an interior decorator, her partner, and two teens. So I end up having, like I said, this large floor plan, and I wanted to separate some of the spaces here, like, the living room from the kitchen, but it still be very open at the same time. So I utilized platforms a lot here, which I often don't do, and it's not for any specific reason other than I often just forget that we have platforms. And I don't know, it's kind of a nice way to be able to utilize, separating spaces, but not having to completely close them off. And if you couldn't tell, we are building in Newcrest. This is the lot named Midtown Meadows. It is a 40 by 30 lot, and I don't know about you guys, but personally, my entire Newcrest save file is just a ton of newer looking homes. So when you open up a brand new save file, it's completely empty and there's just so much opportunity for Newcrest, and you can kind of make it your own. So I think in my main save file where I do all of my builds and whatnot, it's just a ton of newer homes, and I feel like it's only necessary because, I don't know, it's just a nice place to have all these newer, more modern or contemporary custom homes. I feel like it's very realistic. If you were to go to a place like Newcrest in real life, I feel like you would come across homes like this. But anyway, let's get into what the build is all about today. So like I said, I envisioned it being for an interior decorator and her family, and I end up using artwork from someone here on the gallery. So I'm going to put the name up on the screen right now because I don't think it's actually the person's name. I think it's literally just their username. But I use lots of their artwork in here, and it's not custom content, but I think how people do this kind of artwork and are able to upload it to the gallery and it not be considered custom content is they have custom content in their game, and then they either take a photo of it or they have their Sims paint it and then they replicate it and all that. So all of the artwork, well, not all of the artwork, but a lot of the artwork that you will see in game or in the screenshots and while I'm building are from this lovely person. And I follow this person on the gallery because they are constantly uploading artwork that's very similar to this. And they have a different range too of different styles of artwork. They have some more kid-friendly looking ones, ones with llamas and animals and things like that. So there's lots of different options for you to shop around on their page, essentially on the gallery. So I definitely want to give them a shout out and obviously give them credit where it's due, because that was another reason too why I was you know what, an interior decorator lives here for sure, because there's just this artwork is so gorgeous, and I feel just someone that has an eye for really nice decorations and things like that, it only makes sense. So anyway, check out their artwork. Honestly, it's so good, and like I said, it's not custom content, so it's really nice because personally I feel, and I think a lot of people can agree, of course, that's our freaking ice machine, just filling up more ice. Anyway, also, if you hear just a little bit of something in the background, my son is taking a nap and it's his sound machine, and for whatever reason it's not even that loud, but this microphone picks up every little thing, and if I change the settings, my voice just isn't going to sound right. So just bear with me. I think if I keep talking, you guys aren't really going to hear it that much, but I'll have to put some music in the background to maybe drown it out just a tad when I go to edit. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, The Sims. No matter whether you just have, base game for sure, but no matter what additional content you have and packs and stuff, there's just not that good of artwork. I'm sorry, there's not. They've added in lots of new artwork over, I don't know, the last like year or so. They've, like teamed up with different CC creators, and they've added in things to the base game, I think through like Sims deliveries and stuff like that, the SDX drops. But I don't know, I just feel like we still are lacking so much artwork in The Sims and just like wall decor. I don't know. I have a lot of packs, and there's still a handful of packs that I do not have, but I don't know. I just feel like we need a variety of artwork, and mostly artwork, honestly. So that's why I just wanted to add in some like more special artwork to this home. I feel like the artwork that I picked honestly goes so well with the interior, the Dream Home Decorator pack. So anyway, I'll keep it, I already had it up on the screen, the name of the person whose artwork this is from the gallery, but I will make sure to have it in the description down below as well for you guys, so you can reference back to it later if you forget and you don't want to rewind, whatever. But anyway, we have the shell of the home together. We have the floor plan put together. We added in some beams, essentially like exposed beams to the home, because again, I wanted to give this house some dimension. We do use somewhat of like the taller wall heights because we are using platforms, and I didn't want the house to seem super tiny. And I didn't want the ceiling to be like right above your Sims' heads. I just feel like it would look a bit awkward, and depending on how you play when it comes to like how low you are in the home, like if you're playing more of like an eagle eye sort of like point of view or not, I just didn't want it to be super awkward and just make the home feel super low to the ground, if that makes any sense. I feel like it doesn't make any sense, but anyway, we are just adding some last minute details to the exterior of the home. I think, we don't move the home. I thought for some reason we moved the home over just a little bit, but maybe we did already. And then now I'm hopping into the live edit object menu and just adding some plants. These plants, I think, are from Snowy Escape. They are so pretty, and I feel like I've seen them before, but I don't know. When I came across them, I was like, okay, I've definitely seen these before, but why haven't I ever used them? Because they're gorgeous. They're just nice and textured. They're very realistic, I feel, and they're big, so it takes up a lot of space when it comes to landscaping, which if you guys are familiar with my builds and my voiceovers, I talk about how I often dread a lot of like landscaping. If it's a smaller lot and I know exactly what I want to do, it's not nearly as bad. But with bigger lots like this, I was definitely a little bit nervous, so I was glad that I took up a lot of the real estate with the actual house and the shell of the house. But I don't know, just landscaping is not my forte by any means, but I feel like these plants just helped me out so much. And then these hedges that we're placing along the fence line are my favorite hedges ever. I think they're from Get Together, I'm pretty sure. But again, they're in the live edit object menu, so of course we're placing them all over the lot so I can utilize them in the backyard as well. They're a little bit intense when they're not sized down, so I think I sized them down 2 tiles maybe. But I don't know, they just look so realistic. They're nice and textured. The shadowing is perfect. Like some of the live edit object plants especially are just so they just have too much like shadow to them. Like they're really dark and they just don't look realistic at all. I love these plants. So honestly, this entire build is very green. There's no real like, I don't think I use any like flowers or any pops of color. It's all just greenery, which I don't typically do, but I don't know, I feel like there's something about the style of the home that we were going for here that it just worked. And I was a little bit skeptical about it in the beginning, but I think overall it looks really good. Like when I was taking screenshots, I was not at all like, oh, this is like too boring. Like I feel like it just worked. But anyway, I'm so sorry. My voice is so hoarse for some reason, and I have no idea why. I'm not sick or anything. Also, I feel like the way that I have my mic set up this voiceover, it's definitely different than what I normally do, but my voice sounds like not my voice. It's really weird. But then maybe there's a part of me where I'm like, well, maybe this is what my voice sounds like. I have no idea. But I guess we can kind of talk a little bit more about the build and the family that I envisioned living here and all of that. So I don't really have a story for this family other than I'm thinking that one of the parents, the family that I moved in, the mom, she is an interior decorator, or actually she's not an interior decorator. What am I talking about? I did envision, though, that an interior decorator lives here. Maybe she used to be an interior decorator and then she not retired, but decided to not do that anymore. She still has a passion for it, but she's now pursuing being an author. So in the master bedroom, we do end up placing a computer at her desk and all of that. Maybe she self-publishes and then eventually gets not famous, because I personally do not like playing with like famous Sims. Like I just think all the like quirks and perks that come with it are just, it's not my cup of tea personally. But I don't know, she maybe starts off self-publishing and then she gets a publisher, maybe she gets an agent and she's able to make more money off of her books and maybe gets famous, but I probably wouldn't play it that way personally because, like I said, it's just not my thing. But she does that. She's an author, so she works from home. Maybe every now and then she goes to the library and, writes books there. And then her husband is really into cooking. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted him to have a job. I thought it would be nice for both of the parents to just like be at home all the time and just kind of like pursuing their passions. But I think I did end up having him get a job. I think he is literally just like in the food industry. But it would also be kind of fun to like make him a food critic. I've played with that career option like once or twice before. But I wasn't like really crazy about, I think they have to like write articles and stuff, right? Like that's kind of what a food critic does, right? They kind of share their experience about different restaurants and things like that. But I was just thinking that he's really into cooking, and that's mostly because we have this gorgeous kitchen and I just love this swatch from the Dream Home Decorator pack. And I'm so sorry, my words are just not coming to me today. I woke up pretty early this morning to do this voiceover before my son woke up. I mean, he usually wakes up anywhere between like 6:30 and 7. And I woke up right around like 5 o'clock to do this voiceover. And then I was like 20 minutes into the voiceover and I just hear him chatting to himself in his crib. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, why are you awake? And he does sometimes wake up this early, but it's usually very easy to get him to go back to sleep. Like I just need to pop his pacifier back in and he's usually back off to sleep with minimal help. But this morning, no, he was not. So this is the second time I'm starting this voiceover. So if I miss anything or repeat myself, I apologize because I'm not entirely sure what I've already said. Because again, this is the second time I'm doing this. This happens to me a lot. Even before my son was born, I've had to redo voiceovers because of things going on in the background, or the audio just sounds completely awful, or I just keep screwing up what I'm trying to say. But now that I have my son, I am so limited on time for when I can like actually do my voiceovers when it's like quiet and whatnot. So just bear with me here. But of course, this is like a long speed build too. But anyway, as you can see, I'm like messing around with different like artwork here. And that's when I decided, you know what? I have so many different pieces of artwork saved from the gallery. Let's utilize it here because it would go so well with this swatch in the kitchen. And then it just kind of took over from there and we just went crazy throughout the rest of the build. And actually we don't go crazy. I mean, I use a lot of their artwork, but I think I do have some like base game artwork in this specific room that we're working on right now, which is like, it's just like a little, I mean, it's all one level when it comes to like the platforms, but it's still kind of like a separate room. Like I feel like this is like a little sitting room, and there's also like this like little custom piano that I created in here. So I feel like, I don't know, I don't think I do platforms. Yeah, I think it's all just like one level right here. But I don't know, I thought it was kind of nice to have like this separate little, it's kind of like a sunroom, but not, because it's basically the same thing as the dining room, just a bit smaller. I just thought maybe one of the Sims in this home plays a piano. It's technically a keyboard, but I wanted to make it look more or less like a traditional piano and not a grand piano. That's another thing that we could definitely utilize in base game or just in game somewhere, is not a grand piano and just like a normal traditional piano, kind of like what I created here. But let's get back into the family that I envisioned living here. So we covered the mom and the dad pretty much, the daughters. So I was thinking there are 2 teen daughters living in this home. One of them is also into interior design, interior decorating, but she's more into like maybe the thrifting side of it. Like she likes to flip pieces of furniture. So she'll take something from IKEA, for example, and flip it and make it look more or less like modern and contemporary, but like quirky. So her room is very colorful, very loud, definitely used, I think, quite a few different packs in her room. I think the bed and the dresser are from the high school years pack. And I want to say she has a console table in there from the pastel pop kit. She has some pastel pop kit. Oh my gosh, the shelves from the pastel pop kit. I don't know what style that is necessarily. I want to say it's just like kind of eclectic in a way. But it is, I don't know, it's very fun and it's very loud, like the swatches. And I think the swatch I use is maybe one of the more toned down ones. It's like a blue swatch to kind of like go with like the high school years pack and stuff. But I think I end up placing down a cow print rug from the pastel pop kit as well. So I was thinking that she's maybe like into cow plants, or she just likes cow print, but it doesn't go with the room. But at the same time, when you guys see it come together, it goes, but it doesn't, if that makes any sense. Like her room is just so like mismatched that it works. I don't know. And I feel like personality wise, it works for her. Like I can't remember what her traits are, but her clothes are just very loud as well, like very colorful, very in your face. I think I use a lot of like different clothing options from the high school pack, or the high school years pack. And I don't know, I just think she's a much more quirky Sim, like even more than her mom, more than her dad. Like she's just kind of like the black sheep in the family. I don't know. She's just a little bit different than everyone else in her family. And so I was thinking, yeah, that she's into interior decorating, but not quite like her mom is. Like her mom, obviously, as you can see, the house is very much more like contemporary and like aesthetic. And her room is aesthetic as well, but in its own way. Like it's nothing like the rest of this home. And then the other sister, the other teen Sim, she is, I guess, like more into boho and like a bit contemporary style furniture and decor as well. They do end up sharing a Jack and Jill bathroom, which in my opinion is also very loud. As you will see when we get into it, it's very pink, but I think it works for both of the sisters. Like the sister that's like, I don't know, more boho, she is like okay with pink. Maybe it's not her favorite color, but I think that maybe these Sims have lived in this home for a little while and they've been like, you know, over time redecorating, remodeling, things like that, just to kind of like make it more their own and more their style. And pink is just a color that they landed on. It was a color that they were both like, okay, like we can do with pink. But mainly I wanted to use the tiles that I end up using in that bathroom, like the actual floor tile. I think it's also from the high school years pack. I really wanted to utilize that swatch because I don't think I've ever used it before. Or no, it's not from, what is that? It's oh my gosh, Decor to the Max. Is that the name of that kit? It's that kit, okay? I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I believe that's where that floor tile is from. So I really wanted to use that swatch, and that's kind of what inspired me to just do a pink bathroom. But anyway, that is like kind of further down the line in the build. So we are in the master bedroom. As you can see, we have these exposed beams in here as well. We have another fireplace in here. I felt like the parents just deserved a fireplace. Again, this is like a bit more of like an elegant build, so I feel like the master bedroom just definitely deserved it. We're using basically all Dream Home Decorator items in here. It's pretty much like the full bedroom set in here. And then we're using the brand new curtains. Well, they're not so brand new anymore, but we're using the somewhat newer curtains from the Desert Luxe kit in here. I think they just go so well with the Dream Home Decorator pack. I mean, there's lots of different packs and items that I think go really well together in game, but I don't know. I feel like if you threw those into the Dream Home Decorator pack, it just goes. Like all the swatches are like super similar as well. But we're just adding some candles onto the mantle of this fireplace. Although this fireplace, I think it's from Cottage Living. Even though it's from Cottage Living and you wouldn't think that Cottage Living would go well with this style of home, I think it works. I don't know. I think it's because like we have like some rustic touches to it with like the exposed beams and some of the tiles that we use in the house, like on the wall, the white subway tiles that we used in the kitchen. I don't know if they actually make it into the parents' bedroom, but in both the daughters' bedrooms, they have, I think, a wall that has the subway tiles on it. But anyway, we're just adding more of this custom but not custom content wall decor to the wall in the parents' bedroom. And then this is the tile I was talking about. Yeah, it's that that is the kit that I was talking about. I was correct. So their bathroom is gorgeous. I love their bathroom. If I could create my own custom bathroom, maybe the layout wouldn't be like this, but the combination of the tiles and like the neutral swatches that I use, the mirrors, the countertops, all so pretty. And not to toot my own horn, I'm just saying that this is like all the items that I use swatch wise in here, I think just go so seamlessly together. I love it. I honestly love playing in this house. And if you guys don't know, when it comes to me play testing all of my builds, for the most part, I typically create a family that would go perfectly in that build, and I usually just like move them in. And for the most part, this specific save file is just all of my builds. I don't always play in them, but when it comes to playtesting, I don't know. If I have the time, I think it is fun to create the proper, what I think would be like the proper and perfect family or household to live in that space. I move them in and that's how I play test. So I have been playing in this build a bit off and on recently when I'm not actually like creating builds for you guys. But yeah, this is just such a fun build to play in. I think it's just because I was super creative when it came to the entirety of this build. But now we are moving on into the daughter's bathroom. We end up having this closed off toilet area. I figured it'd be kind of nice for like one of the Sims to like be able to use the restroom in peace, and the other Sim could be like brushing their teeth or washing their face, doing their makeup, whatever, practicing speech and debate in the mirror. I don't know. I just think it's kind of nice to give your Sims a little extra privacy if you have the space. Of course, it would be nice to have some privacy when it comes to taking a shower, but I think a lot of the times your Sims are trying to use the toilet when the other Sim is just like doing something else in the bathroom. So I figured it would be nice to just block off the toilet area. Since it is a shared bathroom, they have just a tad bit more privacy since they are sharing. But again, I love what I did with this bathroom as well. It's very similar to the parents, just with touches of pink instead of green. And then I think that's pretty much it for this specific bathroom. The other bathroom, we end up having, like I said, I think I mentioned, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. There's no guest bedroom, there's no office or anything like that, but there is an extra bathroom for your guests, and it's a full bath. Usually the extra bathroom that I have, whether it's on the main floor or whatever, I usually don't incorporate a shower, but we had the space for it. So there ends up being a full extra bathroom for your guests or for your Sims to use if, one of the sisters is showering, the other one can shower as well. So I was happy to incorporate that for once. And then as you can see, we have more of this custom artwork on the wall, and I thought that these two rugs actually go super well together, and it ties in the color of the paintings on the wall so well. So I was really happy to do that here. The blue rug is from City Living, and the orange and white rug is from Dream Home Decorator. So again, we're mixing and matching packs, and I love when we can do that and they look seamless. Like they look like almost like they're from the same pack. I mean, they're a little bit slightly different, aesthetics or styles, but they still go so good together. I don't know. And I personally love layering rugs, especially when I kind of like turn the rugs a little bit and like rotate them so they're not like perfect, if that makes any sense. But I feel like that was kind of what the Sim was going for. Like her mom maybe decorated her room, but like still to fit her style. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a nice way to kind of fill the space on the floor and not have everything look so perfect, if that makes any sense. But we end up using a multitude of different items in this room as well. This bed, if you're not familiar with it, is from Snowy Escape. This nice hanging like wicker looking chandelier is from the Desert Luxe kit. And I do end up having to size it down because I could not figure out why my Sim would not use her actual bedroom door. She kept like going through her sister's room and then through the bathroom in order to get to her room. And I was like, okay, well, it's not because of where the dresser ends up being, because we do end up moving the dresser and giving this Sim like an actual like built-in closet. But I ended up learning it's from that freaking chandelier. So we size it down one tile, which I was a little bummed to do because it's not hanging down quite as low as I would like it to, like it is right now. But it makes everything functioning, so it only makes sense to do that. But this room I think is so cute. Again, it's very boho. This is honestly more my personal style in real life, but I still love the whole entire build. Like I have nothing against contemporary style. I really do love the couches that I use out in the living room and the chairs that we use in the kitchen and dining room. I think all of it is gorgeous, but this room is way more up my alley. And the color, I love orange and blue together, but I usually go for more of like a teal or like an aqua when I mix it in with orange. I don't know if I've talked about it on my channel, but I have an orange couch. My husband and I, when we moved, we really wanted an orange couch, and there's like no orange couches anywhere. So we had to customize it, and we have this nice orange couch. It's like mid-century style. I freaking love it. So if that says anything, I think saying that I have an orange custom couch shows how much I really do like the color orange. But anyway, super off topic. As you can see, this is the more loud bedroom. Like I was mentioning earlier, this is the more quirky Sim of the two sisters, and just definitely the quirkiest Sim in the family. I think although, like I mentioned earlier, although that this room is so loud and kind of doesn't match, it works. There's something about it that works. If you guys disagree, I completely get it, because I don't know. I feel like I want to say like I have an eye for stuff like this sometimes, but it doesn't always work in The Sims especially, but there's something about this build that it just worked so well here. The only thing I wished I could have changed about this room is I wish I would have given this sister like a walk-in closet as well, but her room is just a bit smaller than the other one, and so we didn't really have the space for it. So I decided to give her a TV. I don't think that she's necessarily like a movie buff or anything, but I just felt like we needed to fill the space. It's just kind of an awkward, like empty wall. So I figured, you know what, she doesn't get a walk-in closet, so she can get a TV in her room, and the other sister doesn't have a TV. And maybe it's a personal choice. Maybe she just doesn't care to have a TV in her room, but I figured we need to give the sister something special and nice for her room. So we gave her a TV, and we do lots of plants in here, I think, and we give her this nice Himalayan salt rock lamp. I personally have two. One is in our son's room, and then we have a big one in our living room, which is actually on right now. I love it. I just love the light, like the nice like pinkish orange glow that it gives off. And then we also have a nightlight version when you first walk into our place. I just love it. Oh my God. So I love incorporating those when I can. That is one of my favorite new items that we have from the Everyday Clutter Kit. Pretty sure it's from the Everyday Clutter Kit, right? That and the phone and key combo, as you can see, we have in this room and in the other sister's bedroom as well, because I feel like everybody has keys and a phone, unless you don't drive a car. I don't know, but I love incorporating that. And then the mug, I put a mug in here. I put both the mug and the water cup, or the water cup in her room as well. And I think we're pretty much finishing up this room. If you also didn't notice, I placed a cow plant on her dresser because I was thinking, that she's either into cow print or cow plants or both. I don't really know, but I felt like it just made sense. And I often don't use the cow plant, and the cow plant is a very big theme and very just kind of a big deal in The Sims. So I definitely wanted to incorporate that where I could. And then we are now moving on into the backyard. So a big thing that I end up doing back here, and I apologize if I literally already mentioned it, but we place a life-size chess table back here basically. So obviously your Sims can't actually play life-size chess, but we have these big life-size chess pieces that are lights from, I want to say, the Perfect Patio pack. And we end up moving it over because it's kind of awkward and it's too narrow here, but I'm trying to move it, but that's not how it works in The Sims. You actually have to like have a room placed down first and then fill the floor. Like, I don't know. I thought I was like smart about it, but I was not. But anyway, I had my husband look at this for me because I was like so unsure of this. I've never done this before, but I felt like because this is a bit more of an elegant build, I really wanted to incorporate, I don't know, I just wanted to do something with these chess pieces. I felt like if I didn't do this, I would never use them. And I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like someone in this family plays chess. So having this life-size chessboard back here really went with the vibe. I don't know. We've got this big, large pool back here. These lights will glow at night. I don't know. I just thought it would be a nice touch. So that's what we did. And it takes up some space. It fills the backyard. And since we have like a lot more like neutral colors to this home, I just felt it made sense. And just, I don't know, I feel like it's just right up the Sims alley that live here. So I definitely wanted to incorporate that. It is a bit awkward, kind of, because it's not functional, but I don't know. I think it kind of goes with the Sims. But wow, we are into the screenshots already. I'm so sorry. I've been ranting and also saying things that just don't really matter for this voiceover. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that post notification bell so you're aware of when I build, or when I upload builds rather. And if you want to head over to the gallery to download this build for yourself, do so. My name over on the gallery is AshleyYangelinaa, spelled with 2 Y's and 2 A's at the end of Angelina, and I hope to see you in a future build. Bye. like I have this little like sunroom sort of area. I mean, it's kind of a sunroom, I don't really know, but because we use platforms, I did need to raise the roof. Oh my god, you guys. Okay,